another 5-minute brain workout. It's 2020. We are starting week 9 and word backward. So the reason why we are doing that is to train the brain, because words are kind of like puzzles in a way. They are little entities that are feelings, meaning, other words are linked to it. And when we make a sentence, we actually link those feelings, images, and structures and imaginations to other structures, imaginations, and so on. And then make a coherent sentence. And that is a good brain workout, especially when you have to make up your own sentences based on a new word that you read, or even the word with a new definition. There are many words that have meanings that you probably didn't know there are. And so creating the sentences out of that gives a good brain workout. And not just that. The other benefit is that you understand the world a little bit better than you understood it before. So when you come across a new word with or a meaning of the word you were not aware of before, this makes you more intelligent in that situation. Right, so let's go for it. Change the screen. And off we go. 5 minutes start now. So backwards. Let's listen to pronunciation.
Backward.
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 Backward. It will be American pronunciation. So looking or facing in the direction that is behind you, opposite forward. She went without a backward glance, developing slowly or less successfully than most others. A backwards country, a backward child. Okay, so it's a direction. So can you drive backwards without hitting the? Can you drive backward without hitting the planter? And definition number 2. Those are his backward plans did not really work out in current situation. Backward looking, using the methods. Let's listen to it.
Backward looking.
Yes, I like this. This really makes it move a bit faster. Using the methods and ideas of the past rather than modern ones used to show disapproval, so it doesn't show disapproval anymore. Forward looking, that's the opposite. Darwin transformed a backward looking organization into a respected art school. Backward looking. So many old people are thought of backward looking. However, that might be just more experience in their life. Many young people are described as forward looking. Now that might be just a lack of experience in their life. You probably wouldn't know until they change their mind. Backwards.
Backward.
Also, there's a backwardness.
Backwards. Backward.
Oh, okay. Backwards. Alright, so backward. Oh, it's all the blue entries. Okay, so let's go backwards.
Backwards.
In the direction that is behind you, opposite forwards. Hannah took a step backward. She pushed me, and I fell backwards into the chair. I fell back into the chair. So backwards is basically the same as back. Towards the beginning of the past. opposite forwards. Count backwards from 100. List the items backwards from the oldest to the youngest. With the back part in front, your t-shirt is on backwards. Okay. Pants were backwards when he came out of the car. Towards a worse state, opposite forwards. The new measures are seen by some as major step backwards. The budget cuts were going backwards in people's heads to the year 1980s. Backwards and forwards, first in one direction and then in the opposite direction, usually many times. Stumbled backwards and forwards before falling down. Okay. He was so undecisive. He climbed a ladder backwards. He moved the ladder backwards and forwards so many times that his wife, who was watching it, got really angry. Lean over backwards to do something, to try as hard as possible to help or please someone. Lean over backwards. Bent over backwards. City officials bent over backwards to help a downtown business. I tried to bend over backwards to give him what she wanted, give him what he wanted, but that didn't work. Know something backwards. Know something backwards and forwards. Know something backwards. And British English, know something backwards and forwards. To know something very well or perfectly, she practiced her part until she knew it backwards and forwards. It's such a cool expression. So bend over backwards, and she knows something backwards and forwards. I'm gonna practice this math problem. I know that until I know it backwards and forwards. She came as someone not very clever, but after a few minutes I knew that she knew her programming backwards and forwards. Knew her backwards and forwards. She knew the system backwards and forwards. Cool. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay, so fantastic. 5 minutes over. We'll do a little recapitulation. So know something backwards and forwards. Fantastic. Bend over backwards. That was a great word. And it was a backward looking, forward looking. Yeah, it was also good with backward and back up. We will not do that. We didn't do that. So backwards, backward and backwards. All right. Go back.
Backwards.
Let's finish and upload.